This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joynton. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Tom Pelkey, and Tom is here today with Huron Humane Society. Hi, Tom.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Great.
Let's start with the two happy adoption stories first before we go into the building.
Okay, yeah, last time I was here, you might recall that I mentioned about a beautiful big dog we had that was found that had been shot.
Yes.
And was recuperating well at the shelter. I wanted to report that that dog did come through very well.
Yay.
And was adopted. We actually had 3 people interested in that dog.
Oh.
And the dog was adopted and has been doing really well.
Terrific. So glad to hear that.
Yeah, I was too. Real happy ending to that one.
Yes.
It's a sweet dog. Still has some nerve damage. Probably will never go away, but it's a swell dog.
Good.
The other one I wanted to mention was we had some blind pups that had come in. And the last one was adopted this last week, Willie. And if I might mention, it was through a lot of effort by one of our volunteers, Molly Brusky.
Okay.
She and her husband took him on as a personal project, and they spent several weeks going out there and spending time with him, cleaning his cage out and trying to socialize him. They walking him and spending time with him and playing with him and so forth. And they were really sure that he had a lot of future. And this last week he was finally adopted, and I guess she was actually instrumental in that too.
What a blessing.
Yeah, I really appreciated all the effort she put into that.
Very good.
Yeah, he was a sweet dog, and he was starting to grow. He was getting pretty big, and I was hoping that he would find a home pretty soon.
The only thing is he didn't know he was blind, you know?
No?
Perfect dog, wonderful dog.
Oh, he was a beautiful dog. He was really starting to take shape and mature, and he looked like a husky mix.
Okay.
And a beautiful dog, silvery white.
So happy that he got adopted. Thank you
Yes,
out there for the
was.
wonderful people, your volunteers and the families that adopt these wonderful pets in our community.
Yes, the volunteers have really been coming through this year, and they're dressing up the grounds. We have a volunteer and his wife who bought mulch and bushes and everything and dressed up our entrance out at the main road
Wow, I haven't been there
nicely.
in a while.
Yeah, you've got to come out
I
and
want
see.
to. I want to come and get a tour of the building.
Yeah,
and all this wonderful stuff that you're doing. Why don't you hold that up for
The other
camera?
glad tidings I bring is that we're a few weeks away from getting our first section of kennels in use now. For those who haven't seen any of this before, this is our grand master plan.
Okay.
These rooms circled in red have already been done. We started with these rooms back here. These are rooms that we never had before that we really needed.
Now, are those in the former garage area?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the intake room we never had before. We've
Right.
completed that actually 2 years ago. We needed that to separate the new dogs from the dogs that were already in the kennels to prevent diseases to spread and that.
Sure.
We haven't had a parvo shut down in almost 3 years now.
Awesome.
We needed a new kitten room for the expanded number of cats that were coming in, new kittens, litters of kittens coming in all the time. An evaluation room where we could take dogs in and evaluate their personalities before owners would come in, so we could tell what they were like, and besides that, and people could take a dog in and throw the ball around and so forth and get to know them. Then we have a medical room where we can do spay and neuter and medication and so forth. Those were all done ahead of time. Then we put up our partition wall here. We have an observation window built in here. This will be the new dog kennels back here.
Oh, that'll be so wonderful.
We have plans actually for 26 new kennels all the way around here by the time we're done, and they'll all have outdoor runs. We have a puppy room which is completed.
Okay.
That'll be for mothers with litters or litters of puppies that come in. And they have fixed kennels, 6x6 kennels in there. Small dog room for the small dogs that come in that aren't comfortable out there with
Okay.
the big dogs
Sure.
barking. And the isolation room, that's about half done right now. It's insulated and framed and wired. That'll be for dogs that are shy, that are withdrawn, that need quiet time. And all these rooms are individually insulated,
Wow.
so that we'll be able to control the temperature and so forth. The insulation, the insulation is fantastic in here. This area has all been, the area that we've cut off here that we're working on first, when these days when it was 90 degrees out there, it's 68 degrees in there.
Perfect.
It's like air
Perfect. Good
conditioning.
job.
But we're getting ready to open these first 6 kennels so that we can replace what we call the dungeon out here, which
Yes,
is
and
the
it is a
oldest 6.
dungeon.
Yes. And these are all, excuse me, these are all paneled with solid white plastic walls, raised floors with plastic floors, welded wire doors instead of the chain link doors. We'll have a new septic field out here to this end of the building. And eventually, and of course, we eventually will have the outdoor runs out here, covered outdoor runs, and they'll run all the way around the building.
Perfect.
But we're very close. We're mostly trim work right now, and it's labor intensive, and we just we got into a lot. We got into more than we planned on time-wise. We're behind our original plan, but.
Well, when you're volunteer-driven, and we want to just take a moment to thank all those wonderful volunteers again that come out and help with
Absolutely.
projects like this. People who give you good prices on material, people who donate material, people who do all those wonderful things. And obviously, there's still some almost dones there and yet to do. So if someone is interested, Tom said, hey, I have a few hours a week. I'm good at pounding nails. I can donate some money. I can come and help do some things. Who would they contact?
They could contact me directly.
Okay.
They can call me at home. My home phone is 379-3386.
Okay.
And they can just leave a message, and I'll be happy to call them back.
Okay, and if anyone's interested, you know, they can look up on the website too. It shows all the animals. It gives information.
That's right.
You know, look it up. See how you can become a volunteer and help with foster an animal. Take an animal home for a few weeks. Get them
That's right.
socialized. Get them so they're easier to adopt. You know, do some of the meet and greets that are around town, like every Thursday at Real Estate One and
we
Pura Vida
have
Salon.
we have all kinds of things that need to be done out there. Cleaning is a constant issue. I mean, that's something that always has to be done because it prevents diseases from spreading, and it just makes a whole better atmosphere out there. And the you know, just socializing the animals and
Let them hear a friendly voice and see a friendly face.
that's right. They all need that.
Okay.
There's so many out there that haven't had a good time.
Unfortunately, we are out of time.
That's okay.
So thank you so much for being here, and we'll look forward to next month hearing some more good news about how far you've gotten on your projects.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be right back with Brad Summers from the Boys and Girls Club of Alpena following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last guest today is Brad Summers, who is the director of the Boys and Girls Club of Alpena. Boy, is that exciting to say that, Brad.
Yeah, it sounds different, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's your first couple of weeks into the job. How are things going?
Things are going very well. I've had a lot of outpour of support from the community. You know, Alpena is such a great place to live, and everybody is just helping me along, and things and resources that I might need. I'm only a phone call. They're only a phone call away to help me, which is definitely helping me along the way.
Well, when I took a walk around the river today, I saw some wonderful young people in pink shirts, and they had dirt on them, and they were rolling and laughing and exercising and running and having a good time, singing some kind of a song as they ran down around the river. So what was that all about?
That is actually our Youth Academy program that we run. That's with our partnership from the court system.
Okay.
And we have some deputy sheriffs that are there to help us, and our mentoring coordinator, Eric Schleter, runs it. And it's a great way for the kids to get ready for sports coming up in the fall, or sports that they're currently in, kind of to stay in shape. And then there's some court mandated kids too that come over that may have gotten in trouble doing something they shouldn't have done or something like that, but gives them another chance to rectify some of the things that they've maybe done wrong in the past.
Well, having to do it or not having to do it, they certainly were having
Yeah,
fun.
they do make it fun for the kids. It's hard work.
It is hard work, but they were doing sit-ups on the hill and laughing and talking, and I noticed they weren't laughing quite as much when they got done, but
No.
they sure were having fun. So that's just a wonderful program, and just an example of some of the wonderful programs you have. So give me an idea of some other things that are going on this summer.
Well, right now we just currently had our Duck Commander Day, which is kind of a spin-off from the Duck Dynasty show.
Okay.
We did some minnow races with the kids. We had squirt guns, and it was shoot the squirt gun at the rubber ducky and get it down, and race each other. And just some other fun things that we did outside, water balloon toss, and you know.
Beard decorating contest.
Yep, beard decorating contest, and we also did a yeah, definitely the beard decorating contest was definitely one of the highlights for sure. You know, the kids putting on the construction paper and kind of looking like one of the Robertsons from the Duck Dynasty show. It's kind of goofy.
Okay.
Goofy and fun.
Now you have Water Fun Day coming up on August 21st.
Yep. And that's a really fun time. That's a time when we get out. It takes place at the Boys and Girls Club. We do it right in the parking lot and the grass area behind the club there. And it's time when the kids can get out and kind of just have fun with water. You know, throwing water, just getting wet, and, you know, water balloon tosses again. You know, and they do a treasure hunt in the volleyball court. So we bury a bunch of club bucks, and we bury a bunch of fun treats for the kids and put in the sand, and they get to go crazy and dig these things up. Jen Digna, our program director over there, does a wonderful job of running these programs, and she really gets the kids on board and, you know, gets them excited about these special events.
Well, I'm going to be sure to walk by on the 21st, because when you hear that laughter and that joy that comes from that place, even when the doors are shut.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing, and I think, you know, what a wonderful thing. You should have a waiting list for young people to get in this community, and they get free food too.
Free food. You know, I'd like to remind the community we do have, during the summertime, we provide a free lunch and a free snack every day for kids aged 6 to 18, and kids don't have to be members of the club. Anybody can come in and take advantage of that service. And it's, you know, it's a hot nutritional meal every day, and, you know, it definitely helps with, you know, providing healthy meals to the kids and, you know, feeding the kids of the area.
And, you know, I saw Jeff Bridges on TV this morning doing a public service announcement about programs for food, and, you know, you think it would just be an inner city thing, but it's definitely not. It's right here in our community.
Oh, yeah.
Kids can come in and eat for free. They do not have to be a club member. Come in and say, I want to eat. That's all they have to do.
That's all they have to do, and we will never turn a kid away for being hungry or wanting to eat.
And it's 6 to 18.
6 to 18 years old.
And healthy, nutritious meals.
Absolutely.
Okay. Free school supplies.
Oh, yes. You know, we know that school supplies can be pretty costly
Yes.
for parents.
You have
So
3 or 4 children, especially.
Yep, definitely. And you know, we have the great opportunity of having some donations given to us that we can in turn give back to the kids. And that can be, we have backpacks, pens, paper, pencils, erasers. We have a plethora of different things that we can supply the kids, and it's just to help the parents out. You know, the parents have always supported us, and we'd like to support the parents too, and, you know, providing for their children as well.
If anyone out there would like to drop off some school supplies, you'd be glad to take the donation too.
Oh, absolutely. Please. You know.
Okay. So now you've transitioned, you're the new director. Anything new and different or exciting that you're going to be doing?
Well, I mean, it's business as usual right now. I'm just trying to get myself engulfed in this job and trying to absorb everything that's going on. But, you know, we definitely have some good direction going forward. We're hoping for, you know, some improvements to the building coming up.
Good.
We do have air conditioning now, which is a huge asset when it's those hot days that we've had. You know, the weather's been great so far, great lately, but some of those hotter days, it's been great for the kids to come in and just, you know, have a little bit of a, you know, time when it's cooler in a building.
And how's the Youth Volunteer Corps going this summer?
Youth Volunteer Corps is going well. We're currently, I'll be hiring someone very shortly for the job. You know, and it's one of those positions that's definitely needed, because there's a lot of need in the community, and the YVC program is one of those programs that really helps to provide, you know, nonprofits and some for-profits trying to maximize what they can do with the limited funding that they might have. So.
And kids with something to put on a future resume.
Oh, absolutely. And scholarship opportunities and credits for high school, and you know, there are a lot of incentives for the kids to join.
Okay, and then you mentioned Eric Schlueter and the mentoring program, another thing that's keeps going all the time, but once school gets going, it'll be rocking and rolling even more.
Oh yeah, we do the Lunch Buddies program where we have adults that go into the school system, sit down and may eat with some kids during lunchtime, elementary school age. We actually have some high school kids that participate in the program as well. They take time out of their busy schedules to go over there. And the mentoring program is very, very important. You know, it provides those kids with someone, an adult or someone older that can really, you know, they can relate to and talk to and feel like they're just not alone.
And as I'm a former Lunch Buddy person, my lunch hours got changed, so I can no longer do it. But I was the one that reaped the reward of doing it. It was the most fun I had all week long. I enjoyed it, looked forward to it. And I know I made a difference in my young person's life. I know that I did because the teachers and the school success workers all told me that I did. So it was a wonderful thing. So someone who has an hour for lunch, you can easily do it. Some grandparents who are retired and your grandkids don't live in town, maybe do that for an hour a week. Give Eric a call and he'll tell you all about it. It's pretty easy to do. You
know, and it always takes you back. You get to go to an elementary school and eat lunch like you did when you were a kid.
It's perfect. We're out of time. I look forward to talking to you next week, and congratulations again on your new position, and we're all really excited to know that the good things that have been happening in the past will continue into the future.
Well, thank you, and I thank you for all your support too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Olin Jointon following these messages.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm Olin Jointon, president of Alpena Community College, and my guest this morning, Mr. Don McMaster, Dean of Workforce Development for ACC. Welcome back to the show, Don.
Thank you, Olin. Pleased to be here.
And good. And among your duties at ACC in the area of workforce development certainly is to be the director of the World Center for Concrete Technology. And it's a major facility on our campus. Most visitors have the desire to see it, and it's a multi-functional operation that you oversee. What are the main parts of the World Center business?
Well, it's a wonderful facility, and it's been a showpiece and a calling card for the college since the year 2000 when it was built. It represents a partnership between the college and key employers in the community, Besser Company, Lafarge, others. There are really three main things that go on there. We have, of course, a 2-year associate's degree in concrete technology, a wonderful program. We have block makers workshops that are primarily Besser Company customers coming for week-long seminars on how to operate Besser block making equipment. That's coming back, which is a very good thing for the business model of the WCCT. And under the guidance of Mike Meyer, we do a fair amount of research and testing, both for cylinder brakes, for compression testing, but for some more future progressive applications as well.
Well, very good. And the World Center really does deserve its name, because I personally have witnessed people from a number of foreign countries, Australia, Thailand, Germany, Russia, all over the world. It's amazing to think of Alpena having an operation that has such a global reach.
Absolutely. It's a neat thing. We have an executive session block makers course coming up in mid-August, and we have two gentlemen coming from Haiti for that. In the winter, we had a group, this isn't a foreign country, but it's pretty dissimilar to Alpena, but we had a group from the Bronx come out, an entire workforce come out for a week of training, and they are the group, their company is a group that's doing the concrete masonry for the World Trade Center, the new World Trade Center.
Well, that's really cool. And of course, Canada and Mexico supply a large number of the block maker trainees as well. Let's talk about the research and product development. If you walk into the lobby of the World Center, you're going to see a concrete ping pong table.
Very true, and that is a really neat addition to the lobby there. It's just a magnet for folks who love to play ping pong. Long kind of genesis there, but basically the The inventor's mind behind that was a gentleman named Alan Good. Had a vision for concrete ping pong tables being a key piece of municipal parkware, you might say, where in metropolitan areas people who are fragmented and don't speak or are afraid of each other would be brought together by a concrete ping pong table. And you know what? It actually works just that way.
Well, that's great. You were telling me in the research line as well about an ACC program graduate who had gone to work for a company and then was asking the World Center for Concrete Technology to conduct some tests on potential concrete mixes. What was that all about?
Yes, that was a neat thing. That just happened recently. Graduate of the Concrete Tech program, as you point out, had a very successful career. Local guy, had an idea for using a proprietary product. So I can't really, in his regard, discuss what the component of it too much was, but as a lightweight aggregate and a fire retardant. And so he was up all week testing that product to see whether or not it had a masonry application and a wet cast. If it does, and in a way that he hopes, it could be a real game changer for him.
That's great. Also, in the research area, you've gotten a grant from the National Science Foundation to test the theory that concrete masonry units can absorb carbon dioxide. At what stage is that work?
At a good stage. We've had that grant 2 years now, and I've done a fair amount of research, primarily under the direction of Oscar Tavares, who is a longtime, well-regarded member of the cement concrete industry. And we know that CO2 is absorbed in curing concrete masonry units. What we're trying to refine and figure out is under what conditions that can be most economically viably done. Not to stack adverb on adverb, but the notion that this science has no purpose unless people can really see that I could do it and it not cost me as a producer a tremendous amount of money to do. And that's kind of the piece, that's kind of the stage where we are now.
That's good. And there's been a great public school outreach about that research led by Kathleen Brusky.
Absolutely. She's done a wonderful job. Kate is just highly regarded wherever she goes and has great connections primarily in the northern part of our service district and has helped bring students down for events and days twice now, and it's been successful both times.
Holding the whole operation together is Secretary Catherine Maharg.
Yes.
The lady that you will see when you come into the center, and she's very helpful. As we wind things up, we recently had the pleasure of working with Ann Bellinger and people from Rogers City who wanted to construct a monument for the 100th year of the calcite quarry over there. And just recently I was up there for the dedication of that monument. That was based on or built from donated extra blocks produced by the Besser Machinery in the World Center for Concrete Technology. So I know you and Mike were involved in that project, and I want to thank you for that ability to earn our middle name, so to speak, to be a community partner with something that's going to last a long, long time.
Oh, it's a wonderful, wonderful project. Anne is such a powerhouse in terms of her vision and her passion for things. And it's true, we did have some product left over from when the building was built. Yeah. Of course, it doesn't degrade.
And we had an artist, Guy Aronak from the Flint Institute for the Arts, have children paint tiles, and they were glazed. And those tiles are going to be there when they are great-grandparents to show their great-grandchildren what they did when they were little kids. So it was really great to work with Ann and Guy and everybody else for that project. Mr. Nye
yes.
oversaw the construction. So, well, thank you very much for being my guest and your great leadership for the World Center for Concrete Technology.
My pleasure, Olin. Thank you.
This has been Talk of the Town with Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Joynton. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at WBKB11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.